So is my next guest worried about a potential speaker battle? Texas Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw with me now. You never strike me to be that worried about anything, Dan. You think you can get right through it, and maybe it can. But what happens if there is another speaker battle that could possibly delay the certification of President Trump's victory?
Yeah, look, I will say a few things about the speaker situation. Every speaker walks into the same office. The carpet color's the same, the furniture's the same, because all the political dynamics are the same. Everything's the same. The speaker can only do what the speaker can do. And you might have some different skill sets, some different connections, but the speaker's job is difficult because the political reality they live in, no matter who is the speaker, is the same political reality. Now, that political reality changes in January, but you still don't have 60 votes in the Senate, so you still have to make deals with Democrats on big spending bills and really any agenda you want to get through, except for reconciliation bills. So that's the first thing that people need to understand when they want to kick out McCarthy or criticize Johnson. There's just not really an alternative. All the alternatives were already gone through. Now, am I worried about a speaker's battle? Look, the world will keep turning, and eventually we will have a speaker. I do think Trump will have quite the say, and his opinion will matter quite a bit. It would benefit Trump a lot, honestly, if he would just back Johnson right now and then just be done with it.
Well, what is clear, Dan, is that the president-elect has enormous power right now. He has the Gallup poll shows that he's in a much better position right now in terms of public opinion than he was in January 2017, or when he first took over. He's got over 51% approval right now. So he has increased his approval rating since the election. So his finger on the scale will make all the difference, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, if he says don't vote for Johnson, I think it's going to be a very tough speaker race for Johnson. Again, it's really not clear who else would be in the waiting there. We remember we went through this.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
And all of their major players basically had their heads chopped off. So it's not obvious to me that Johnson's done a bad job. It's obvious to me that he's done the best job he can given the circumstances.
Okay.
And he keeps a level head. I think he doesn't lose his cool in the way I would, given what people say about him and what lies people tell and the games that people play. A lot of this is gamesmanship. People want to hold their vote because they want something, some kind of personal concession from the speaker. I think it's pretty gross to do that, but this is what they do. And it's, unfortunately, you have to understand too, it's very popular in the conservative world to not just go against Democrats, but mostly to go against your own people. That's the more popular soundbite. Unfortunately, that's a cultural problem that we have.
Donald Trump is going to change everything. I just want to move on, if I can, to what happens once things get cooking inside the Beltway, once the president is inaugurated, what the first agenda will be. There's a lot of discussion whether it should be the border, whether it should be extending the tax cuts. You have a lot of people weighing in, including former Labor Secretary Robert Reich, who said the following in an ex-post: Trump's first round of tax cuts for the rich added $2 trillion to the debt. Extending them would add another $5 trillion. And he goes on. Well, in fact, Trump's tax rate cuts in 2017 lowered taxes for 65% of taxpayers. And the more important part, it didn't cost $2 trillion. It gained 48% in tax revenue. That's how much more we have now than we did in 2017. It didn't cost $2 trillion. It actually gained $1.5 trillion. Is anybody making that point right now among the Republicans in Congress?
We will. That's a point I always make. Look, tax cuts don't cost us anything because we're not spending anything. We're letting you keep more money. And it is true. The year after the tax cuts passed, we still had record revenues. Now, would you have had more revenues? Potentially, but it still doesn't count as a cost. And that's a matter of philosophy. That's a matter of how you view tax cuts.
Well, it's a matter of history. It's not just philosophy. Yeah. It happened in the 1920s. It happened with Ronald Reagan. It happened in the first Trump term. It could happen again, no?
Right, and it's the right argument to make right back at them. Like, letting people keep more of their money is not a cost to the government, as you said. And there's other places we can save, and we're going to have to look at those programs. There's 70% of our spending is in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. These are touchy subjects for people, but they're going to go broke and be destroyed if we don't actually save them and actually make some reforms. And these are some of the things we're going to have to do in reconciliation. Now, you can pick apart some of the spending on your annual appropriations bills, but it's not going to get you the savings that you need. It just isn't. Okay. There's just not enough money there. We all act like there is, but there isn't. So there's going to be a lot to do. And unfortunately, there's 2 appropriations bills to do next year because of the way we did this. Reconciliation bill, maybe 1, maybe 2, debt ceiling fight. So it's going to be a very, very busy year.
It's going to be tough, but it's going to make things very interesting to watch from my perspective. Dan Crenshaw, Congressman from Texas, wonderful to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.